In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at a special Santo Fino Extra Anejo Special Edition right here on the Tequila Hombre. Coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we're going to be taking a look at a special edition Santo Fino Extra Anejo. Now, I know you're probably wondering, hey, Santo Fino doesn't have an Extra Anejo, right? Well, you're correct. They do not. So here's basically what happened. If you watched recently, been watching the channel, watching the review videos, I've reviewed the whole line of Santo Fino tequilas, and I like them. They're good. They're really good. And I actually did a interview with Sammy Hagar from Santo Fino, and I really had a great conversation with him. We got along famously. And during the interview, I actually asked him, because he was talking about they did a single barrel repo. And I said, well, is there any way that we could look at doing a single barrel repo for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective? Because, of course, we love supporting the brands that do it right. Santo Fino does it right. The Juan Eduardo, the Master Tequilero behind Santo Fino brand, does it right. And so we want to support the brand. So I said, is there any way that we could do a single barrel repo with you? And he said, yeah, I would actually like you to have a single barrel repo. And he says that we might even have one left because they don't do that program anymore. He said, so if you watch on the interview, he actually talked about it. He says, so I'll connect you with the CEO and you guys can get that hammered out because I believe we do have it. And I do want you to have one. I was like, oh, great. So I was really excited about getting a Santo Fino single barrel repo, but everyone else, other stores have them already. They're out. So in talking to the CEO of Santo and going back and forth, he says, yeah, we'll get you some samples. He goes, I think we have an Anejo that's that we can send you and we can do an Anejo since they do have an Anejo out. Well, I ended up getting a message sent to me from the CEO when he was in Mexico. And he goes, guess what? He goes, I'm going to send you 2 bottles of extra Anejo. He goes, now, we're not really planning on doing an extra Anejo because we're probably thinking of blending these in the Anejo and to make our Anejo really good. He says, but, because of what you've done for us, the fact that you don't charge us anything, you help us out of the kindness of your heart, we'd like to do something for you. And this is something that I talked about in the transparency video that we did, where you help people and they want to help you back. And so he said, I'd like to give you the opportunity to get something really special. Nobody in the world has it. You'd be the first. And probably the only if we decide not to go the route of extra Anejo, which we probably won't. I don't know. He goes, we'll see. But I'm sending you 2 samples from single barrel extra Anejos. And I'd like for you to taste them, see what you think, and see if you want one of them for a single barrel purchase for your Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. And if so, we'll put it together and we'll do it. If not, then maybe we'll look to blend these in with the Anejo and just scrap the whole extra Anejo project in itself. So the single barrel extra Anejos we have, they sent me 2 bottles, 2 500 milliliter bottles. You can see the labeling and stuff on it. It's not official label or anything because it's not an official product. These are samples that were sent to me from Mexico. So both of these are aged for 38 months in former bourbon barrels. So 38 months, that's what, 3 years and 2 months, right? So we're going to try them out and see what we like. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the tasting portion and see what we got here. All right, so I have 2 bottles of single barrel extra Anejo samples here. One is Nuestra 1. You can see it labeled there at the bottom, Nuestra 1. And the other one is Nuestra 2. Number 2, dos nuestras. All right. Yeah, no, I'm not drunk. I haven't had anything to drink yet, believe it or not. I'm just naturally crazy. I could have told you that before, but All right, so let's open up Nuestra 1. Nuestra uno. Crack the seal on this puppy. All right. We'll pour a little bit of Nuestra Uno in that glass, and we'll do that first, and then we'll pour Nuestra Dos. So we'll swirl a little bit, get a little air in there, a little oxidation happening, get those aromas and stuff flowing, get the glass coated, It smells really good. I'm picking up the aromas and stuff right now. All right, so looking at it in the glass, of course, we always got to do this because we taste with our eyes, our nose, and our mouth. Look at the legs and coming off that, legs or tears or whatever you want to call them, lacing. Look at that. It's going to have a nice viscous mouthfeel to it. Let's swirl it again. Yeah, look at that. Hopefully focus it there. Look at those. Beautiful. You can see these legs on this side here lacing on the glass. It looks amazing. Looking at the tequila itself, it is crystal clear and a nice rich amber color. Looks beautiful. All right, let's see what we get on the nose on this. Ooh, nice. I'm getting that beautiful cinnamon and baking spices from the Los Altos agave they used for this. A nice vanilla note, cherry. Ooh, even some like little hint of tropical fruit, like pineapple, apricot, dried fruit. Little caramel notes coming through, and even some dark chocolate. This smells really good. Oh my gosh. I hope it tastes as good as it smells. All right. I have a feeling this is going to be really good. All right. So let's get our mouth acclimated to 40% alcohol. Of course, this is my first taste of tequila for the day. Let things settle down for a little bit. We'll pour a little more in. All right, everything's pretty good to go. The nose on this smells really good. All right, salud. This coats the mouth really well. Nice cinnamon and baking spices up front. Little hint of oak. Nice wood presence. Picking up a little hint of like what is that? Definitely good presence of oak. A little oak bitterness in the front. Slight hint of vanilla, a little hint of caramel. Like bitter oak note that comes through on the finish on this. This would not be one I would pick for a single barrel. I've had a lot better single barrels than this. It's got a lot of heat to it too. Yeah, this is not something I could stand behind for this Nuestra one. It's okay. It's got a lot of oak bitterness in it. It's almost like too much wet wood notes. It's not picking up enough of the caramel and vanilla. So I don't think this barrel would be one of the good barrels to use. Because with single barrels, it's hit or miss. Single barrels, you can have a really good single barrel because you had a barrel that really produced the good flavor notes and stuff. And you can have other ones that are kind of used too much. And those you typically would blend in with some of the better barrels. This particular Nuestra one would be a blender for me. I would say we need to blend this in with something else. It's missing a lot that I normally look for in a single barrel. It's not as robust as some of the other single barrels that we have coming in. It's got a lot of more wet wood kind of notes, almost cardboardish, tannic kind of notes coming through. And the nose on it is a lot better than the flavor palette. So that's Nuestra 1. So I'm going to take a little break here and then come back and we'll look at Nuestra number 2. All right, so let's take a look at Nuestra number 2. I hope it's better than Nuestra number 1. All right. Yeah, that happens though. It's not a reflection on the brand. It's more of a reflection on the barrel, because even some of the best brands can have barrels that they thought were good that don't produce a really good flavor profile. It happens all the time. I've done single barrels with other brands that after tasting through some of the samples, I had a clear winner, where some of the other ones weren't so good as single barrels, but they're better for blending, because then it balances everything out when you have something that's exceptional and you blend in some of the other stuff in it. You can make a really nice extra añejo that way through blending. So with this one, and typically most brands for their extra añejos and stuff, añejos, repos, they'll blend multiple barrels together for it. That's typically a traditional way of doing it. The single barrels are really for the exceptional barrels, the barrels that really stand out on their own. So you really kind of have to look for special barrels for that. And that's why you'll see a lot of times for single barrels, they'll do like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 barrels total for single barrels, because that's all the good ones that they found within their batches. And it depends too on how much barrels that they actually will fill and use in their barrel room. So, and ones that have gone that long, right? This has to go at least 36 months in order to be called an extra añejo. Look at it this way in the glass. It coats the glass beautifully. It's got legs and tears all over the place. Now you see the pearls there. So it's kind of a nice viscous, look at all those legs there. It's kind of a nice viscous mouthfeel to it. Looking at the tequila itself, it is crystal clear. Let's get it to focus. There we go. A nice light amber color on this one. Let's see what we get on the nose. Definitely nice cinnamon and baking spices up front. Hint of cherry, apricot, vanilla, caramel. It's more on the fruity side of things, which is good because it's Los Altos agave. It smells really nice. It's got a really nice mouthfeel to it. Definitely a nice mouthfeel, a really nice aroma to it. I really enjoy it. So let's see what we get on the flavor profile. So, salud. Ooh, nice, beautiful cinnamon and baking spices up front. Nice hint of vanilla. So a hint of cherry in there, a nice caramel note that follows. A nice ripe fruit note in there as well. This barrel is definitely better than Nuestra one. Definitely. More in line with what I would look for a single barrel. I don't know what the ABV on these. They didn't tell me whether this is 40% diluted or not. But this is definitely better than the Nuestra one. It's really got a nice mouthfeel. Really nice cooked agave notes up front. Definitely some vanilla and caramel coming through. Way better than the first one. Definitely way better. So if we go with a single barrel, I'm going to go with Nuestra number 2. Beautiful, beautiful mouthfeel to it. Beautiful flavor profile. This is something you definitely could sit and enjoy with a nice stogie. It could be an afternoon sipper as well as an evening sipper, after dinner sipper. It's not necessarily a rich dessert one. More balanced. It's more balanced with the wood notes, with the cooked agave, which is what I like in a nice extra añejo. Some extra añejos are like super heavy on the barrel influence. With this one, really nice agave notes up front, really balanced with the barrel notes in it. And after 38 months, and that's really hard to achieve typically. So they did a really good job with this particular barrel, and this one really shines way above the first one. So there you go. Nuestra number 2 will be the winner. I'll let them know and see if we can get that as a single barrel. If you're interested in getting in on our single barrel, special single barrels like this, make sure you join the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. It says TBAC. That's the abbreviation for it. You'll see it in the description below. We'd love to have you join us and join our community on Discord. And get access to some of these amazing special single barrels and batches that we're putting together for the collective members. It's $10 a month. That goes to support what I do, because we talked about in the transparency video, I don't charge the brands because I don't believe that's right, to give them an honest review and to let you guys know what I think review wise. If I charge the brands, I've got to do something for the brand, because it's only right if they're paying me for it. So they don't pay me for it. So instead I look for support from you guys, the viewers out there, through memberships. And so by joining the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, you help support what I do, as well as you get access to some of these amazing single barrels and batches that I work with the brands and put together as my way of saying thank you for supporting the community on Discord for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. If you like the information in this video, make sure you click the thumbs up and give me a like. If you're new to the channel, bienvenido, welcome. Please become part of the Tequila Hombre family and click that subscribe button right there and the notification bell next to it. And so that way you get notified every time I post one of my unbiased, honest reviews, as well as informational videos that give you more power to select great tequilas when you go to the liquor store. Knowledge is power, and I'm here about giving you guys knowledge that's not forced by brands paying me to do videos. Instead, it's completely unbiased, completely forthright, completely truthful information and knowledge that I gained from all of my friends that are major producers in the tequila world. And until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So hey, if you get in on a single barrel Nuestra #2 single barrel buy, you're gonna be in really good shape. This stuff's really good. Salute. Bye.